imagine you are painting a house. You pick out this timeless, incredibly expensive shade of paint.
Oh, yeah, the perfect color.
Right, and he has this beautiful vision for the space. But, well, the wall you're about to paint is just crumbling. The plaster is cracked. There's, like, deep water damage permeating the drywall.
Yeah, the surface is completely uneven.
Exactly. You would never just slap a fresh coat of high-end paint over that crumbling wall and expect it to look, like $1 million.
No, I mean, you have to strip it back. You have to repair the cracks, sand it all down, prime it.
Right, and only then do you get that flawless finish. So, welcome to today's deep dive, where we are applying that exact same architectural logic to something that gets surprisingly overlooked when it comes to wedding prep.
Which is so true. It really does get ignored.
It totally does. We're taking this comprehensive blueprint from Weddizer. They are this platform totally renowned for helping brides simplify wedding planning with, like, highly trusted beauty timelines and trend forecasts.
Yeah, Weddizer is fantastic for that.
They really are. And we are using their guide today to figure out how to transform weak, damaged nails into flawless, camera-ready wedding nails.
I love that house plating analogy, by the way. It is the perfect framing for what Weddizer has built here.
Oh, thanks. It just makes sense to me.
It does, because, I mean, we see people spend hundreds of hours analyzing catering menus or floral arrangements or dress alterations, but the hands are really the unsung foundation of the entire day.
Yeah, they really are the foundation.
And the overarching philosophy of this Weddizer guide is that a perfect manicure is not just some cosmetic event. It doesn't just happen in a salon chair 2 days before you walk down the aisle.
Right, it's not magic.
Exactly, like a biological and a logistical strategy. And it begins half a year in advance. You're essentially biohacking your body's natural keratin production over a period of months.
Wow, half a year. That's a huge runway.
It is, but you have to do it to ensure that the physical canvas is as strong and healthy as it can possibly be.
So if you're listening to this right now, just look down at your hands, press on the tip of your bare nail.
Yeah, give it a little test.
If it bends easily or if you can see peeling layers at the edge, well, this deep dive is completely built for you.
Absolutely.
Whether you're planning your own wedding or standing in a wedding party or, you just want to permanently rehab your nails after years of destructive acrylics, this Weddizer strategy is just a masterclass in long-term beauty prep.
It really is a masterclass.
And Weddizer points out a reality that is super easy to ignore until you get your wedding photos back. Your hands are surprisingly central to the big day. I mean, they are everywhere.
Oh, the visual audit Weddizer provides in this guide is a huge wake-up call.
Oh, total wake-up call.
When you step back and really look at the anatomy of a wedding album, the hands are in almost every high-emotion, high-definition shot.
Right.
It's not just someone casually holding a champagne flute in the background. The photographer is, like, actively hunting for hand-centric moments.
I was thinking about the lenses these wedding photographers use. They're shooting with these crazy macro lenses, right?
Oh, yeah, it has huge macro lenses.
Just to capture all the tiny facets of the diamond on the engagement ring.
Mm-hmm.
And when everyone at the reception says, let me see the ring, your hand is thrust right into the spotlight.
It really is.
And the camera is capturing every single millimeter of your cuticles in razor-sharp focus.
It's terrifying if you're not prepped.
Totally terrifying.
Yeah.
And then you have the bouquet. I mean, you are gripping those flowers for hours.
Hours and hours.
And the photographer is taking tight shots of the floral arrangement, which, well, inherently frames your fingers.
Exactly. And signing the marriage documents is another massive one they point out.
Oh, true.
There is always that classic documentary-style photo, zooming in on the pen in hand, signing the register.
Always. You can't escape that photo.
And finally, Weddizer mentions both hands on the knife for the cake cutting, plus all those intimate, romantic hand-holding photos.
So, I mean, it's easy to think of nails as a tiny detail, but when you list all those moments out, they are practically the co-star of the wedding album, aren't they?
They absolutely are the co-star. And if the nail plate is peeling or structurally broken or, hastily covered up with a thick, uneven layer of acrylic.
Ugh, the thick acrylic.
Right, because the natural nail underneath was just too weak to hold normal polish. It completely breaks the illusion of elegance in those high-definition shots.
It totally shatters the illusion.
And this is exactly why Weddizer roots their entire timeline in a very specific biological reality. On average, fingernails grow about 3 millimeters per month.
Wait, 3 millimeters? That is it?
That is it. 3 millimeters a month.
For anyone trying to visualize that, I mean, it is roughly 1/10 of an inch. That is microscopically slow.
It is painfully slow.
And it completely reframes how you have to treat a damaged nail. If you have a split halfway down your nail bed, you can't magically heal it.
No, you can't heal it at all.
Because the visible part of your nail is dead tissue, right? It's just compacted keratin.
That is the core biological constraint we are working with here. You cannot heal dead keratin any more than you can heal a dead strand of hair.
Right. Split ends don't just fuse back together.
Exactly. You can only grow new, healthy keratin to replace it. The matrix, which is the living tissue tucked under your cuticle where the nail cells are actually created, it just needs time.
It's time to build from scratch.
Yes, time to produce a completely new nail plate from the base all the way to the free edge. For the average adult, completely replacing a thumbnail takes about 6 full months.
Wow. 6 full months. Which mathematically completely proves why Weddizer's timeline has to start at the 6-month mark.
It's literally just the math of human biology.
Yeah. A last-minute manicure is basically just applying a beautiful veneer over a structural deficit.
That's a great way to put it.
According to the Weddizer guide, at 1 month, you are only seeing slight visible growth at the base. At 2 months, you've pushed out enough new nail to see stronger edges.
Right, you get a little bit of structural integrity.
And at 3 months, you have significant improvement because half the nail is new.
Yeah.
But you really need the full 6 months for a total repair.
You do. Which drops us directly into the very first phase of the Weddizer blueprint.
The repair and reset phase.
Exactly. And the repair phase demands, well, hard restraint. The very first directive Weddizer gives is to stop the cycle of damage.
Which means no more acrylics.
Right. Taking a hard break from acrylic nails or excessive gel manicures, the chemistry and the physical removal process of these enhancements are just brutal on the natural nail.
They are so harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, to make acrylic or gel adhere properly, a tech has to rough up the surface of your natural nail plate with a file.
Yeah, they do. They are physically stripping away the top layers of keratin.
You're intentionally damaging the foundation just to get the paint to stick.
Exactly.
Here's what gets really interesting to me. It's like an athlete resting an injury. You can't keep running on a sprained ankle and expect it to heal. You have to pull back.
That is a brilliant analogy. You have to stop the activity causing the repetitive stress.
But while we are resting this injury, Weddizer recommends something that feels, well, totally counterproductive.
Oh, the trimming rule.
Yes. They state you need to trim your nails every 2 weeks. Wait. If the goal is to grow them out, why on earth are we constantly cutting them off?
I know it sounds backwards. But you have to think about the physics of a damaged nail.
Okay, physics. Let's unpack that.
The nail currently on your finger at the 6-month mark is the compromised nail. It has been thinned out by files. It's been dehydrated by soaking in acetone.
Right, it's basically paper thin.
Exactly. It is structurally unsound. So if you try to let that weak nail grow out past your fingertip, it literally becomes a lever.
Oh, a lever. Wow.
Yeah. When you catch that long, weak nail on a car door handle or a heavy sweater or your purse, the force multiplies.
Because it's acting like a tiny seesaw on your finger.
Precisely. And because the nail is brittle, it doesn't just bend, it snaps.
Ugh. Felt that just thinking about it.
And weak nails rarely snap cleanly at the white tip. They tear horizontally deep down into the pink living part of the nail bed.
Which is intensely painful.
So painful. And worse, it resets your wedding growth timeline completely back to 0.
So by aggressively trimming them every 2 weeks, you are eliminating the lever.
You're removing the risk entirely.
You are preventing that catastrophic deep breakage while the weak nail grows out. You sacrifice the short-term aesthetic of having long nails today to guarantee long-term stability for the wedding.
That's it, exactly. You are containing the fragile material until the new, healthy nail growing from the matrix fully replaces it.
That makes so much sense when you explain the physics of it.
Right. And while you are managing that exterior weakness with a pair of clippers, Weddizer pivots to fortifying the new growth from the inside out.
Ah, the nutrition side of things.
Yes. They detail a really strict nutritional foundation to optimize the nail matrix because, the body prioritizes vital organs first. Hair and nails are the absolute last to get nutrients.
Because keeping your heart beating is a little more important than a manicure.
Exactly. So if you are deficient, your nails will be the first to show it.
And Weddizer provides what is essentially a grocery list for keratin production, don't they?
They do. It's a very specific list.
They call out biotin, protein, zinc, iron, and omega-3 fatty acids. Since keratin is a protein, consuming adequate dietary protein is the literal building block.
It is the raw material.
But the micronutrients are where the real biohacking happens. Like biotin, which is vitamin B7, it fundamentally improves the firmness and thickness of the nail plate.
And the iron and zinc are required for rapid cellular reproduction.
Wait, really? How does the iron play into it?
Well, if you are iron deficient, your body cannot produce enough healthy red blood cells to deliver oxygen to the nail matrix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and without that oxygen, your nails can actually grow in concave like a spoon, or they can develop these really deep vertical ridges.
A spoon-shaped nail. That is wild.
It happens, and the omega-3 fatty acids are just as vital. They act as internal lubrication.
So they keep the nail from getting brittle.
Right. They maintain the lipid barrier of the nail cells, keeping the new growth flexible rather than snappy.
But Weddizer doesn't just rely on the bloodstream to deliver hydration, right? They mandate the use of cuticle oil as a daily necessity.
Oh, absolutely. Cuticle oil is non-negotiable.
Specifically, massaging it in every morning and every single night.
Yes, twice a day. The skin surrounding your nail, the cuticle and the proximal nail fold, that skin acts as the environmental seal protecting the nail matrix factory underneath.
So if that skin is dry or cracked or compromised, it's basically like leaving the door to the factory wide open.
Exactly like that. Water, bacteria, harsh soaps, they can all seep right in.
And that causes microscopic inflammation.
Yep, and that inflammation directly disrupts the production of the new nail. Massaging oil into that area does two amazing things. First, the lipids in the oil seal the microscopic cracks in the skin.
Closing the factory doors.
Exactly. And second, the physical friction of the massage stimulates capillary blood flow right at the matrix.
Oh, so you're actually pulling the nutrients to the area.
Yes. You are physically driving those dietary nutrients, the iron, the zinc, the biotin, straight to the cells that need them most.
It is a phenomenal dual-action strategy. You're building the nail internally through diet and protecting the manufacturing site externally with oil.
It's foolproof if you stick to it.
So by the time you reach the 3-month mark, the biological canvas has fundamentally changed. The severely damaged, paper-thin nail from the acrylic days has mostly grown out and been clipped away.
Right, you've trimmed away the past.
You now have a nail plate that is significantly healthier and structurally sound. Because the nail is no longer in critical condition, the Weddizer strategy pivots. We move out of triage and into the strengthening phase.
Triage is over. Now it's time to build the armor.
I love that. Building the armor.
Weddizer specifically recommends applying a formaldehyde-free nail strengthener 2 to 3 times weekly.
The specification of formaldehyde-free is really interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a crucial distinction.
Because older generations of nail hardeners relied heavily on formaldehyde. It chemically cross-links the keratin proteins and basically turns your nail into a rock.
Right, and people thought that was a good thing.
But the problem with a rock is that while it's hard, it has literally zero flexibility. If you hit a rock against a table, it shatters.
Exactly. And the chemistry of nail care has evolved significantly since those days. You don't want a nail that shatters upon impact.
You want something that can bend.
Right. You want a nail that can absorb blunt force, bend slightly, and return to its original shape without cracking.
So how do the modern ones work without the formaldehyde?
Well, modern formaldehyde-free strengtheners use different proteins, like hydrolyzed wheat protein, alongside chemical conditioner.
Oh, interesting. Wheat protein.
Yeah. These ingredients fortify the keratin structure, adding a protective shield against daily wear and tear, but they maintain the nail's natural elasticity.
And applying it multiple times a week ensures you are replenishing that armor as it naturally wears off from just living your life.
Exactly. But Weddizer pairs this chemical defense with a behavioral defense.
Yes, the behavioral stuff is fascinating. They point out a threat that is incredibly mundane, but absolutely devastating to nail integrity. Chores.
Chores are the enemy of a good manicure.
Specifically, exposure to water and cleaning chemicals. We tend to think of water as harmless. We drink it to stay alive.
Right.
But structurally, exposing bare nails to water is disastrous, according to Weddizer.
It really is. Your nail plate is porous. It acts exactly like a microscopic sponge.
Wait, really? Like a sponge?
Exactly like a sponge. A natural nail is composed of up to 100 layers of flattened keratin cells.
100 layers? Wow.
Yeah. So when you submerge your bare hands in hot, soapy dishwater, the water forces its way between those microscopic layers.
Oh, no.
The entire nail swells and expands. It puffs up. Then, an hour later, when the water evaporates, the nail aggressively contracts back down.
That constant cycle of expanding and contracting, that must literally break the delicate bonds holding the keratin layers together.
It does. It causes the free edge of the nail to peel apart like a flaky pastry.
Like a croissant. That's a horrifying image for a nail.
Right. And that is before you even factor in the cleaning chemicals. Dish soap and household surface cleaners are literally designed to cut through grease and oil.
And they don't differentiate between the grease on a frying pan and the natural protective lipids you just spent 3 months meticulously building up with your morning and night cuticle oil routine.
They don't care. They strip the nail completely bare.
So the solution Weddizer offers is incredibly simple, yet almost universally ignored.
Wear gloves for wet chores.
Yes. It is a minor behavioral tweak that entirely blocks the thermal, chemical, and mechanical stress of household tasks.
You can take all the biotin supplements in the world, but if you are scrubbing pots barehanded, you are chemically dismantling your own progress.
It's basically protection over reaction.
Exactly.
And speaking of mechanical stress, Weddizer brings up the physical tools we use, mandating a switch to a glass nail file to shape the nails.
The glass file is a game changer.
Using a cheap cardboard emery board on weak nails is like taking a jagged serrated knife to a piece of silk. You need the right tool.
That's a perfect way to describe it. The grit on a standard emery board is coarse and incredibly uneven.
So when you drag it back and forth across the tip of your nail, it's just shredding it.
Yes. It creates microscopic tears and splinters in the keratin, and those micro tears are the birthplace of massive splits.
So how is a glass file different?
Well, a glass file is manufactured through a chemical etching process. The surface is completely uniform and incredibly fine.
No, so it's not glued on sand.
Right, it's etched into the glass. When you file with glass, it doesn't shred the keratin. It actually generates a tiny amount of friction that seals the keratin layers tightly together at the edge.
Wow, so you're basically cauterizing the edge of the nail rather than fraying it?
Exactly, leaving a perfectly smooth finish that is incredibly resistant to peeling.
It really is all about choosing tools that respect the biology of the hand. And Weddizer extends this logic beyond just the nail plate itself. They emphasize holistic hand care.
They do, because the hand is a whole ecosystem.
Right. They explicitly state that soft hands and healthy nails must go together for the ultimate wedding glow. They recommend applying hand cream immediately after every single time you wash your hands.
Every single time. Because every time you wash your hands with soap, you are degrading the skin's lipid barrier.
And the camera is not just isolating your fingernail, right? Yeah. It is capturing the knuckles, the back of the hand, the cuticle.
Oh, high-definition lenses catch everything. If you have a structurally perfect nail surrounded by dry, ashy, inflamed skin, the aesthetic is just ruined.
So by systematically replacing that moisture barrier with hand cream, alongside your cuticle oil and your glass filing, you are creating a comprehensively healthy biome for your hands.
That's the perfect word for it, a biome.
So we have put in 5 months of rigorous, disciplined work. The foundation is fully repaired. The plaster is smooth, primed, and structurally sound.
The house is ready to paint.
Yes. We are now 1 month out from the wedding day. The Weddizer timeline shifts into the aesthetic phase. This is where you finally get to choose a style and bring your inspiration photos to the nail technician.
The hard work has paid off and the canvas is ready. And Weddizer is highly attuned to industry aesthetics. They provide their predicted 2026 trends for bridal nails, which they encapsulate under the term minimalist luxury.
Minimalist luxury. I love that phrase. It sounds incredibly intentional.
It's very intentional.
They list the trending shades for 2026. Milky white, sheer blush pink, nude beige, champagne shimmer, soft pearl chrome, and classic French tips.
There is a very clear theme here.
Yeah, none of these are loud, distracting, or neon.
Exactly. The philosophy of minimalist luxury is about enhancement, not distraction.
Right, you want people looking at you, not just staring at your bright red nails.
Precisely. A sheer blush pink or a nude beige is designed to mimic and elevate the natural tones of the nail bed.
Which creates an optical illusion, right?
Yeah.
Elongating the fingers and making the hand look incredibly elegant.
Yes, it slims the whole hand. And the milky white or soft pearl chrome catches the ambient light beautifully in photographs. It adds dimension without clashing with the intricate lace or beadwork of a wedding dress.
They really are timeless choices. But the integration of chrome and pearl powders gives them a very distinct, modern 2026 aesthetic.
It's classic, but updated.
So once you have the color palette, you have to choose the architecture, the shape of the nail. Weddizer outlines the most popular structural shapes: almond, oval, soft square, and coffin.
Yes, the big four.
And they specifically note the coffin shape for glam brides. So how do these shapes actually affect the look?
Well, the architectural shape dictates how the hand moves and how it photographs. Almond and oval shapes are universally flattering because they mirror the natural rounded curve of the cuticle line at the base of the nail.
Oh, that makes sense. Visual symmetry.
Exactly. Creates symmetry and slenderizes the finger. Soft square, on the other hand, provides more physical surface area at the tip.
Which offers a classic clean line. And I imagine that's more durable for people who type heavily.
Yes, a soft square is great for durability. Then you have coffin, which is a long nail tapered sharply inward with a completely flat, squared-off top.
It's a very striking silhouette.
Very dramatic. It demands attention and pairs seamlessly with heavily embellished high-fashion wedding aesthetics.
So, okay, you pick your sheer blush pink, and you decide you want an almond shape. Then, Weddizer insists that you book a trial appointment 1 full month before the wedding.
The trial is non-negotiable for Weddizer.
But I have to stop you there because I look at that and immediately feel my wallet hurting.
I know, wedding budgets are tight.
Right. A hair trial makes sense because hair is structurally complex to style. And a makeup trial ensures you don't have an allergic reaction to a foundation on the day of. But a nail trial...
It sounds like overkill to a lot of people.
It does. If I don't like a sheer blush pink, the technician can wipe it off with acetone in 5 seconds and paint a different one. Is Weddizer seriously suggesting spending $80 in 2 hours of my precious timeline just to look at a color on my hand?
It is a completely valid skepticism, especially when wedding budgets are stretched thin. But Weddizer is not suggesting a trial just to look at a color.
Okay, then what is it for?
A trial is a stress test. You're testing for durability, color theory, and tactile functionality.
All right, let's address the color theory first.
So, a nude beige that looks stunningly elegant on a Pinterest board might have yellow undertones.
Okay.
If your skin has cool pink undertones, painting a yellow-based beige on your nails will completely wash you out. It can actually make your hands look sallow and almost bruised in natural lighting.
Oh, wow. Bruised is not the look you want on your wedding day.
Definitely not. You need to see the polish cured on your hand, walk outside into the sunlight, and see how it actually interacts with your specific skin tone.
Okay, color theory makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can't just wipe off a gel manicure easily once it's cured under the UV light. What about the tactile functionality?
This is actually the most crucial part of the trial. Let's say you decide you want to be that glam bride, and you opt for long, coffin-shaped extensions. But for the past 5 months, you have been wearing your natural nails short and trimmed to repair them, just like the guide said.
Yeah, clipping them every 2 weeks.
Right. If you get those long coffin nails 2 days before your wedding, you are going to experience a massive tactile shock.
Tactile shock, like forgetting how to use your hands.
Basically, you might suddenly discover that you literally cannot button the tiny silk buttons on the back of your dress.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
You might struggle to securely clasp your delicate jewelry, or you might find that you cannot comfortably hold your fork during the reception without the nail digging into your palm.
The loss of dexterity. A shape or length could actively impede your ability to function on the day of the ceremony.
Precisely. You don't want to be fumbling with your own hands on your wedding day.
No.
Furthermore, the trial tests the chemical durability of the product on your specific nail chemistry.
What do you mean by nail chemistry?
Well, some people's nail plates naturally produce more oil, causing certain gel brands to lift or chip within days.
Oh, so not all gels work on all nails.
Exactly. If the soft pearl chrome chips after 48 hours during your trial week, you have the luxury of data.
You can pivot.
Right. You can go back for the final appointment and say, we need a different base coat,